Right, welcome along to the Shoalhaven River Estuary. I've escaped from the house moving process for a couple of hours because the sky's looking pretty gnarly. Hoping for a little bit of colour in that sky. And it's well and truly out of season here at the moment. The school holidays are over. Got the place mostly to myself, a couple of locals out having their evening constitutionals, but it's a beautiful and actually quite warm evening out here on the estuary today on this July evening. The plan of attack for this evening is this. It's a complete bastard walking along here at the moment because of all the flood detritus that you can see piled up here. The last big monsoonal weather event flushed that downriver and it all fetched up here. So what I'm going to do this evening is walk up this path out onto 7 Mile Beach, maybe take some shots with the zoom lens down the beach, and then I'm going to walk around the top, the heads of the river, which are currently closed, all silted up with sand, and we'll come all the way around over to here. By then there should be some nice colour if everything goes to plan, and we can shoot across towards Coolangatta Mountain. Actually down on the beach nice and early this evening, plenty of time in hand, full 45 minutes in fact until sunset. That means we've got a stress-free walk down the beach. A couple of oyster catchers down on the low tide bank there. Gonna stick the zoom lens on the 100 to 400 and see if we can get a nice shot of them without scaring them off. We've actually come in this direction, which is really nice. Okay, stabilizer on, and we want to pump the ISO up so we can freeze the action, although they're not moving very much. Drop the aperture. How are they looking? I need to get them much closer in the frame, so I'm going to risk it and go down there and see if I can get a little bit closer to them without scaring them off. Wish me luck. That's better. I've just got a shot. There's a beautiful reflection in the sand. Look this way, mate. Not 100% convinced by that sky I can see behind you guys. It's quite thick, this cloud, and I wonder if we're just going to get some kind of muted tones rather than some full extravagant colour. We'll have to wait and see. It's actually pretty rare to have these kind of exposed sandbars this far south down 7 Mile Beach. There's plentiful exposed sandbars where I normally photograph down at Gerrara and Blackhead, which you can just see off in the far distance there, but very rare that they're here, and it's because there's a very low tide happening at the moment and some lovely reflections, some sort of turquoisey and tan reflections in the sandbar. So I wonder if I might take some photographs down there. Just switch back to the super wide, the 10 to 24. May put the telephoto back on again in a minute. We'll see how things go. But this is definitely super wide territory. I'll hop over here, hopefully without getting my feet too wet, and see if we can do some nice low shots using these little sandbars here. looking at that cloud, definitely thinking it's too thick to be of use to us. Very muted colour so far today, it has to be said. Hop over here. All right, let's get moving. Just looking for clues as to what the rest of the evening holds in store for us on the reverse sunset. And I can't see too much. There's a little bit of a pink tinge just up in this cloud here, which is promising. Definitely looking vaguely pinky. And what time is it? Let's have a look. So we've got 29 minutes until sunset now. And ideally we'd like to see that filling in a bit with colour and then sort of spreading around as the sun sets and then filling in that direction. There is of course a way of finding out just how thick that cloud is and therefore how likely the chances of some nice colourful light being able to push through it. We can use Windy. I'm just recording it on my screen at the moment and we will zoom in to where we are and turn on the cloud. So we want high cloud first. And that's 100% pretty much everywhere. You can see as I move the cursor around the screen here, it's all staying 100% up in the top left there. So the question is there any medium cloud in there? If there is, it would not be good because it would block it. No, bugger all medium cloud, that's great. Let's have a look at low. No medium cloud ever, so it's exclusively high level cloud, which increases our chances greatly. And if you look out over the top of the escarpment there is a glow, so there is a possibility that some of the light will break through and we'll get some nicer saturated colors in there. But looking on the reverse sunset here, I don't think there's a very strong chance of it. Now, the reason I decided to come to this particular spot tonight was because I was down here the other day and I noticed these cool little dunes which have formed relatively recently. The river mouth here opens in time to flood and it's been open a fair bit lately. There you go, beached, washed up remains of I don't know, what was that once? Looks like just some kind of platform rather than a boat. Maybe one of the platforms that the dredgers work on or something, I don't know. What is that, guys? Leave a comment. Big metal structure, it's a platform of some kind that they must have used to do some work in the water on. and must have got blown down here in the last big rain event we had about a month or so ago now. I think it's a bit shit that it's just been left here, and whichever government agency owns it should come down and stop this crap from polluting the coastal and marine environment. Check out this log here. Looks like it burned and then got flushed downstream. So it was probably one of the trees that burned in the bushfires a few years ago. And it was close to the banks of the river, and when it flooded, it got uprooted and washed downstream. Ended up here. So this is the reason I came this side of the estuary. It gives you an uninterrupted cross-section of Coolangatta Mountain in the distance there, with the little estuary waters here providing a bit of foreground interest. Very lovely too. Definitely not much happening colour-wise yet, and we've got, how long? 3 minutes to sunrise. Not looking good at all. I did contemplate for the briefest of moments picking my way down onto the water's edge there, but if you take a look at all those washed up beach branches and tree trunks, I think I've probably broken my bloody leg in the process. So going back over here, past the old washed up platform. A clue! It says Outcast on the front of that. I think that's as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately, folks. Question: are photographers the most optimistic people on earth? I think there's a strong argument for it, don't you? We go out and about, trudging around with all this heavy gear in the vain hope of shooting something interesting. Before I knock off for the night, I thought I might shoot some of these amazing bits of driftwood. They're almost like bloody sculptures, aren't they? I think that there will look absolutely terrific in some high contrast black and white. So I'm going to photograph it. Let's get the old super wide super close so that it fills the frame. Make sure it's nice and sharp. Try it from a couple of different angles, eh? Get down even lower maybe, and then we can get the ripples of the sand in there too. There's so many possibilities when you start looking around, aren't there? Just love this. It's like a bloody alien arm or something rising out of the sand. Tell you what, in post-processing I might completely blow out the sky on that, make it white to provide complete contrast with that. If you're shooting a fine art shot, you can get away with that monkey business. It doesn't matter. You can express yourself artistically to the fullest extent and not worry about keeping it natural. Really nice contrasty structure in those clouds. I think I might shoot down low just here, bump the ISO up so I can keep it handheld. And frustratingly, there's a beautiful red glow on the horizon to the north. So somebody is getting a beautiful sunset right about now. I'm guessing over Sydney. Without a shadow of a doubt, the key to being a good photographer is to be as observant as possible, I reckon. Constantly looking around, casting your eye around, and trusting your instincts and being led by those things that catch your eye. When you're looking around and you pause and your eye is drawn to something, ask yourself, why? What was it that caused me to stop for a moment? It's like I was looking at those branches back there. There's almost sculptural driftwood on the beach. How did they look in black and white? Future people, are they all right? Has to be said, I'm getting quite into the old fine art stuff now. It's pretty good fun. It's kind of letting loose with Photoshop, because for years and years and years, I've kind of tried to discipline myself to try and keep my landscapes natural looking. And I will have our moments with the old vibrant slider when we might go a little bit too far. But certainly if I look back at the photographs I took, I don't know, 15 years ago when I got my first DSLR camera, a Canon 550D, I've come a long bloody way. I think the photographs I take now are much more honest representations of this landscape. Well, here we go, guys. As you can see, the light has deserted us, and it's time to head back to the car, call a halt to this evening at Comerong Island here at the southern end of 7 Mile Beach in South Coast, New South Wales. Please do leave me a comment if you like this content, and hit the old like button to improve my sketchy odds with the YouTube algorithm. All right, guys, until the next time, ta-ta.